Good morning, friends, followers, subscribers. They are the most important people, after all. My army of Trevorites and Cultists, thank you very much for continuing to support me and watch my videos. Well, it's Wednesday today, and in the Cult household, it is, as you know, handover takeover day. So, I have my son today. He's already in there, online, playing FIFA 24, enjoying it. But anyway, putting that aside, I've already had breakfast, made up, had my soldier-on coffee, and I've looked at the media. I woke up this morning to a few messages. It's happened again, hasn't it? A serving soldier in uniform walking close to his camp has been attacked by a lunatic. A knife attack, tried to kill him. Yes, stabbed. He's now on life support, and I hope he pulls it. Hope he pulls through. The person that did it is a 24-year-old who's now being held in custody for attempted murder. Now, where do we go from here? Now, the weird thing is about social media is this. You can go and carry out a crime, but if we discuss the person that's carried out the crime, we get called hate crime racist for discussing what's just happened. You see where I'm going with this? I've got to be honest with you, and I don't care if YouTube take me down, diversity and inclusion has ruined the United Kingdom. Completely ruined it. Yes, box ticking. We need, as Nigel Farage says, and I don't care if you don't like Nigel Farage, we need to leave the European Court of Human Rights. We need to leave that and have our own UK law. Because under the European Court of Human Rights, evil people are protected. Evil people are given the same protection as good people. And I disagree with that. I think evil people should not fall under the same remit as good people. There should be restrictions against them. There really should be. At the same time, the Prime Minister has just granted amnesty to 70,000 migrants that are now going to be housed in the UK. Now that's causing uproar across the country because we currently have UK citizens waiting for housing on a housing register who are now going to be bypassed by these scumbags that have added no value, haven't paid UK tax, and do not appreciate our way of life. And I disagree with it. Yeah. And do you know what? I'm going to say this. England, it's your own fault. You lunatics, you voted in this devil, and now he's in charge. And I'd like to point this out. It's only been 2 weeks since Sir Keir Starmer became Prime Minister, and he's just suspended 6 of his MPs who voted against him. Yeah, to do with child benefits. Guess what? The Prime Minister wants to have a cap on 2 children per family. A cap for child benefits, 2 children per family. I suppose it will stop people impregnating people left, right and centre, those that have like 10, 15 children. I suppose it will stop that. But he wants to cap that now. 6 MPs voted against him. And what did he do? Rather than go, okay, I respect your opinion, he suspended them. Yeah. Whoa. It's not a democracy anymore, is it? Yeah. It's certainly a dictatorship now in the Labour Party. 2 weeks in, and this is happening. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, you voted it, you deserve it. That's all I'm going to say. I hope the soldier pulls through. I really, really do. And if he does pull through, which I touch wood he does pull through, I hope that we're going to change things. Are we going to change things? Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The government seems to be putting a lot of migrants near military bases. Yeah, a little bit stupid that, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Imagine bringing over these boats and boats and boats and boats of men. Yeah. Where are you going to put them? They'll be safe near army barracks. Of course they will. Yeah. Looks like they're going to be putting them into old military bases. I mean, I have a letter from the Right Honourable Tobias Ellwood, going back several years ago, and my old MP, I think they've both lost their jobs now anyway, rightly so, where I asked, could we not utilise an old military base for homeless veterans and get workshops something? Oh, we can't do that, Mr. Colt. Oh no, we can't do that. Those bases are owned by private companies. Oh, are these the same bases you keep giving out to migrants and asylum seekers? Oh, yep, they are in it. Yep, we have a 2-tier system, 2-tier policing system. We do. We don't even have a veterans minister anymore because the new Prime Minister decided we don't need one. Yep. I bet you there's a minister for asylum seekers. There's bound to be, there has to be, maybe it's an idea the Labour Party should put together. You know, there we go. Jesus. Isn't it weird though? I mean, let's be honest. We're having hate crimes happen, proper hate crimes happen, where people are being stabbed and attacked and beaten and put in hospital. But when social media, people like myself, talk about it, we're committing a hate crime by talking about what's going on. This is how shit social media is today. Yeah. And I know YouTube are still looking into my channel. They told me, we're looking into your channel. We'll get back to you within 30 days. They've no intention of ever remonetizing me. And I don't care. I don't care. There we go. Right. Now, here's one which sticks with me because I had this chat about a week and a half ago. Remember the TV license thing? I got an email about the TV license. I phoned them up. Dear Mr. Colt, it's been brought to our attention that you have been watching BBC iPlayer. I'm like, what? No. Anyway, you may need a license. I phoned them up, got through to the BBC lunatics on the switchboard. They're very aggressive, aren't they? The ones on the BBC switchboard, very aggressive. Wow, they must be on bonuses to force you to buy a license. Anyway, I'm like, calm down. You sent me the email. I'm calling you to tell you I've not been watching it. Okay, Mr. Colt, can you go on to your account? You're not listening. I don't have an account. I don't have a license. Well, but you used to have an account, didn't you, Mr. Colt? Well, I did years ago, yeah. Well, can you log back into that account? Just to check. I'm like, what? I said, I don't know my password. Can you reset your password? That's what it is. So I'm on the phone. I'm resetting my password. I've logged in. Now, I've just logged in and I find out that one of my neighbours, his name is in my account. And I'm like, well, one of my neighbours' names just came up in my account on my email address. Well, he shouldn't be using your email address. I says, I don't care, but I've now changed the password and logged out. Does that mean now that I've turned him? It doesn't matter. And I said, listen, I don't want one. Now, prior to this, I had a letter last year, which I don't know if they lied to me, but I read today's paper and I want to point this out. The email I got, that's a lie. The letter I got last year from the BBC was, you will need a license. You will need a license if you're watching live TV, you're watching BBC Live TV and YouTube. And I'm like, it's on the letter here. And I phoned up, I go, excuse me, you've stated in here that I need a license to watch YouTube, only on live YouTube. I'm like, you don't need a license to watch YouTube. I'm telling you now, you don't. The woman there they were sending out letters to citizens all around the UK telling them if you watch YouTube, you needed a TV license. That is how underhand they are at the BBC. Well, anyway, in the last 12 months, over 500,000 people have scrapped it, which means in the last year alone, they're down 80 million in license fees. And you know what the BBC are saying? It's because of competition like YouTube and Netflix. It's not because of competition like YouTube and Netflix. It's because of your shitty propaganda on what you've done. You have covered up so many things. You've covered up so many underhand things which have been criminal, and you've turned a blind eye to it. You preach stuff that ordinary people do not agree with. In fact, I'll just point this to you. Do you remember the massive story about Hugh Edwards, the BBC presenter, news presenter, and he disappeared, paying for pictures, allegedly, of other people? He hasn't worked in the BBC, God knows how long. Do you know that he's just been given a £40,000 pay rise? Yes, he's still being paid by the BBC. They've just given him a £40,000 pay rise. Wow. Crime does pay, doesn't it, people? Yeah, just remember that whenever you go out and do something today. Yeah, quite shocking. Yeah. Now, there is a bit of good news today, but I do not know if this good news resulted in what happened to that soldier. But the good news is the hate preacher Anjem Choudhury has just received a life sentence in jail for preaching hate. Now, he was in jail back in 2016 and they let him out early. But I've listened to a security consultant and a friend of mine called Will Geddes, who's all over Instagram and news channels. The guy is an expert. Andrew Chowdhury, the hate preacher, he was very, very good at what he did because he was also a qualified solicitor. So he knew how to do things and beat the law, and that's why it took a long time to get him in and then get him out and then get him in. But he's now in for life. He was radicalizing children as young as 14 to carry out atrocities, and he was recruiting people in Brazil, the UK and Canada to do these things. Some of his sermons led to other attacks which took place. So I'm glad he's now in jail. We should bring something in place. We should, where we need to recruit people from that type of community to keep an eye on what's happening in mosques around the country and what's happening in private settings. And if someone is doing that, then A, they should get jailed under the Terrorism Act. I hope so anyway. I'm sure that's happening in some sort of way, but yeah, just getting it off my chest, Well, anyway, listen, I'm going to shoot on. Have a wonderful day, people. And remember, stay safe. Look after each other. Keep your circle tight. Take care.